Okay, well, today I want to talk about B vitamins and what we can do to get those up and how important they are for your health. So, anyway, I'm going to share my screen with you and we're going to go through a few things and hopefully you can follow me. Okay. So, there are 13 vitamins that are important for the body, and the vitamins that are B are among them. So, here's what we're looking at: we're looking at thiamine, which is B1, riboflavin, B2, niacin, B3, pantothenic acid, B5, peroxidine is B6, biotin B7, and folic acid B9, and then B12 is cobalamin. But anyway, we're going to pick three of these and we're going to go through them today, and I'm just going to kind of educate you on them and hopefully you learned something. So the first one we're going to look at are the symptoms of vitamin B12 deficiency. And when we're looking at vitamin B12, that's the one most people know about. You're looking at fatigue, you're looking at a pale skin, headaches, you can be depressed. You can have GI issues, difficulty concentrating, mental impairment, pain and inflammation, the mouth and tongue, but you can also, paresthesia in the hands or feet. So this is going to give off a lot of symptoms, but I would say the main one is probably going to be fatigue. Okay. And a lot of people that I see, a lot of patients are fatigued. So that's a big one. So, and we'll show you what a test looks like, how to test for that and what optimal levels are. Okay. So there's vitamin B12. Next, um, we're going to look at what? Folate, which is vitamin B9. Okay. Same thing. You're looking at this. The initial symptoms include fatigue, tongue swelling, headaches, irritability, sores in the mouth. Okay. And then if symptoms are due to anemia, you're looking at more weakness, shortness of breath, palpitations. So really start thinking fatigue, start thinking mouth if you're deficient in those vitamins at this point, okay? And then we're going to look at one more, B3, which is niacin. And the reason I want to bring this one up, because I did have a patient who had this and they had skin rashes, and they weren't going away and had some other issues, but it's finally starting to clear up. But and I'll show you what a picture of that looks like, but it's pigmented rash on sun exposed skin, which is really weird because sun is usually good for the skin. They'll have a bright red tongue. Fatigue is a big one. Again, fatigue. And then if it's real severe, you look at vomiting, constipation, diarrhea. Vomiting is pretty severe. Usually they'll have constipation or diarrhea. Poor circulation, insomnia, confusion, headache, and weight loss. Okay. So that's B3 niacin. So what I want to show you is, well, B3 niacin is pellagra. You can come down with a condition called pellagra, and that is an essential nutrient that plays a vital role, the B3 does, in functions including the energy metabolism, DNA repair, skin health. Remember, skin health with B3. So niacin deficiency can lead to poor condition. It's known as pellagra, we talked about, and it's characterized by the three Ds: dermatitis, skin issues, diarrhea, and dementia. So that is not good. And even over here, it says malabsorption conditions and interactions with certain medications. So you got to be careful if you're on medications. So if I get a patient in here and they're on several medications, we might want to look at their B vitamins just to see. And I'll show you what that test looks like. Okay. So we can get a pretty good idea. So here's a picture of somebody with pellagra, basically vitamin B3 deficiency, niacin deficiency. Okay. It looks really weird. And the person I was treating had something like this. It wasn't on their face like that, but they did have a very bad rash. And so when we test for these, here's what I want you guys to get, whether you get the test from me or you go somewhere else. You really want to look at these. You really want to look at the extracellular level. We talked about this. This is in the serum. And then we want to look at the intracellular level. This is what gets in the cell because we got to have both of them. So we're looking at B3, which is niacin. We're looking at B12, and we're looking at folate, which is B9. Now, folate goes over here and we're looking in the actual red blood cell. These are going to be in the white blood cell. But at the end of the day, we got to make sure it's in the serum, and then we got to make sure it gets into the cell. So here's what that test looks like. So here's folate B9. Let me get my thing here. And as we can see in the serum, it's good. And in the cell, it's good. So this person's probably supplementing. They're very high, no problem. But if they were down here low, we could always supplement them. But we want to keep these levels high. We want them to be high. B12, same thing. Serum's okay. Cell's okay. I would like to see these levels a little higher. I'd like to see them up closer to 800 to 1,000, if not more. 1245 is the cutoff here, but I'd like to see these higher here, and then eventually they'll go up higher here. This person's at 2.95. They can go as high as 11.9. So I'd like to see them, up around 9 or 10, get those levels high for B12. And then when we look at B3, same thing. B3, this person here, we can go as high as 36. They're at 6.4 in the blood. So we could probably get B3 up on this person. And then in the cell, we're at 59.7. We could go as high as 303. So we have room to move. So we really want to be, when we look at these vitamins, we want to be on the higher end, okay? We don't want to be off the charts, but we want to be at the higher end. We don't want to be at the low end, okay? And then, so this is the blood work that we'd be looking at right here. It's going to tell us, and we can look at vitamin A and B1 and B2 and all these other ones too, but I just picked 3 today. I picked the folate, I picked B12, and I picked vitamin B3. And then we also, I tend to run methylation test on people. And so folate again is B9. It does over 250 processes in your body. And I just picked one gene out because this is the most common gene. They call it the MTHFR gene. And this can cause anxiety, depression, and it can cause your mind to race. So these people have a hard time settling down, okay? And if they're a bad methylator, it could just be they're not methylating enough. And we'll go into more detail here in a little bit. But when I look at these genes, if it's green, it's okay. If it's yellow, it's moderate. And if it's red, it's severe. So when I look at this person here definitely has a methylation problem with B9. And we can look here and say, okay, B12 as well. And on this gene, on B12, if I had to pick one, this MTRR gene, it can cause GI issues, high blood pressure, and thyroid problems, okay? So this person I would consider a bad methylator, and they probably need to take methylated vitamins, B vitamins. We're going to pick one more gene here, the MTR gene. This is for B12. This can cause GI issues and can also cause heartburn, okay? So if you know somebody who's popping Tums all the time or having heartburn, get their B12 levels tested and run a genetics test on them. Let's find out what's going on. And then we need to methylate them. They have to take methylated vitamins. So for this person, probably what I would prescribe would be, food, first of all. I'd say, okay, the number one thing you can eat for B vitamins right here, we can look at salmon. Let's go ahead and eat that. Next, let's eat some leafy greens. That's going to help. Next, liver and other organ meats. If you like organ meats, that's packed with B vitamins. Eggs are a really good source of B vitamins. Okay. I eat a lot of eggs. I tell my patients to eat a lot of eggs. Not only do they have B vitamins, they have all 8 essential amino acids. So they're great for protein building. So if you eat eggs, you're going to get all 8 essential amino acids, and you're going to be able to build protein. Protein is hair, skin, nails, neurotransmitters, hormones. So you want that, and you need all 8 to build it. So if you only have 3 of the essential amino acids, it's not going to build those proteins. It's not going to work on your hair, your skin, your nails. And I treat a lot of ladies. So, you know, they want nice hair, skin, and nails. So I would say, if you're going to eat something, eggs are really good for that. They're going to give you the B vitamins, and they're going to give you all the essential amino acids so that you can have proteins to build the hair, skin, and nails, neurotransmitters, and hormones. And then last but not least, if you can tolerate dairy, dairy has some B vitamins. So again, let's look at the B vitamin foods. If I had to tell you to eat, here's what I tell you to eat: salmon, leafy greens, liver and other organ meats, eggs, and milk. Okay. And so let's say I test somebody and they are low. Well, here's what I would do. I would probably tell them to eat those things, but I'd say, here, let's just take this, because this has a lot of B vitamins in it. So the niacin, I'm just focusing on that one, has 375% of your niacin. In your folate, you want the L5 methyl tetrahydrofolate. You want that. That's giving you 1,700% of that. And then B12, it's giving you 20,000% of that. So these are designed for people who are not good methylators, because it's giving them so much because it knows they can't methylate and they're going to need more. Okay. And so what are these B vitamins going to do? They're going to help with enhanced absorption and bioavailability to improve cellular energy. So it's going to give you energy. More immediate effects on metabolism of folic acid and sources. So it's going to help you metabolically break things down, metabolism. Decreased metabolic stress. Again, it's going to make it easier for you to digest things and break things down. And it's going to help with digestive, immune, and nervous system support. So if I had to say, most people, most of my patients, they are on some B vitamins, but we do test them. We will either look at a micronutrient test to get exact, or we will look at a genetics test to let us know if they're a bad methylator. And if you are a bad methylator, I'm trying to keep it simple today, but it can cause, I just picked the high points, but it can cause a lot of health issues if you're not methylating properly. Okay. And if you took something like this and ate those foods that we mentioned earlier, I think it would make a huge difference and you would probably feel better and you'd feel the health benefits from it. Okay. So anyway, I hope this information is helpful. And if anyone's interested in doing any testing, all they got to do is reach out to us and let us know. Click the link below, and we'll have it there. And we'll put this supplement in the feed so that you can order this B vitamin if you would like to. Okay. Anyway, I hope this information is helpful, and we'll keep bringing it to you. Have a good one.